Okay, I had to delete it because I was going off on a rant. Hi guys, it's another spooky story time with me. We're doing Miss Fenty Beauty today, Miss Riri, with number 7, Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint. We're just gonna go for a light, but mainly lashes and a little bronze and a little glitter pizzazz, but lighter than yesterday. You'll see what I mean. 21 karat gold, what? Yes, my skin is very sensitive. Anyway, speaking of sensitivity and being sensitive to spirits, I have another spooky story time. This was when I went to private school, and I think this was before I went to high school here in Canada. I was back and forth. So we had skirts down to our knees, and also my parents were, I think they were grocery shopping or on a date. I don't know what they were doing, but they were doing something for the house. And so, in my private school, the high school, I was, given like, a ride home. And so we have a house and it's in the middle of the city. But yet there's still trees surrounding us. And so one of my classmates, who's kind of also sensitive to like ghosts and stuff, I think she saw something. And it was weird. When I got dropped off, it was just some sunny afternoon, okay? But suddenly I got a feeling of I need to rush and like get out of the house, even though they just dropped me off my house. So I was standing there waving, because my friend's, parents dropped me off from their car. And we have this little mirror. So it's a Chinese superstition, but from my grandma's side, we have like a mirror. It's like a hexagonal or octagonal mirror, and there's this is round in the middle, and you put it above your door to ward off bad spirits. Okay, so that's already a context to what's happening. I had this strong urge to leave the house. Don't stay longer than I need to. And so I grabbed my stuff and I left, but I didn't see anything. But I just had this weird urgency to not stay longer than I needed to. I don't know why. And then when I was looking at my classmate, she was staring off to my left, okay? And I was like, what is she staring at? And she was staring at something that I couldn't see. So like I said, sometimes I see spirits, sometimes they don't make themselves known to me. And I was like, what? Why is she like, we call it tulala, like, huh? Like, that's the face she was making. And I was like, what is wrong with this girl? I'm like, okay. Anyway, I didn't pay any attention. I just went on my business. I think I met my parents at church or something. Whoops, one sec. Yes, I actually walked to church at the time because, of course, I am in high school. I didn't drive at the time. I was not of age. And, I guess you'd consider me upper class back home. Maybe middle, upper here, but definitely back home we were considered upper class. But I was underage. I couldn't drive. I didn't have a car, so I went to see my parents. The next day, I went and asked this classmate of mine, like, why did she look like she saw a ghost? I was laughing, but she was not laughing. And I was like, oh no, what did you see? Because Philippines, even though it's mainly Catholic and very religious, there's also it's very strange. There's also a lot of ghosts as well, a lot of spiritual encounters. I'm telling you, look up Lemuria, and I feel like Philippines was part of Lemuria. I kid you not. Like, there's just so many spooky things that happen. Just way more than when I was in Canada. So I asked her, what did you see? Because you look like you were pale and you saw a ghost and your eyes were bulging out of your eyes like this. And you were not looking at me. You were looking at something to my left. And she's like, do you have a sister? And I was like, no. What do you mean? No. What do you mean? Like sister, like blood related? She's like, yes. I said, no, I don't. I just have like a older, like half cousin. We call it pinsan. And she's like, oh my God. That's why I was staring, because she looked so creepy. I'm like, what did you see? And she said to me, I saw a girl, okay, picture The Grudge. Literally, we're going back to that reference. Really long hair covering her face, wearing white, like a long sleeve white for some reason, really white, looking down like this, and really creepily, like standing beside me. Oh my, in the front porch, where I had the strong urge to leave immediately, like to not linger. Why did I have that urge? Why did I have this urge? And I was like, no way. I'm like, I was standing next to it. You didn't tell me. She's like, I was too shocked. I thought maybe you had a really creepy sister that was just standing there or something wrong with them. And I didn't want to be rude. And I'm like, what? You should have told me there was a ghost beside me so I could run really fast. I just had a strong urge to leave. Maybe that's why they couldn't cross the house. If they didn't have good intentions, bad spirits are not allowed to enter because there's that mirror. Like I told you, it's like a Chinese superstition that my family adopted. So I'm like, no way. And she's like, yes way, or I don't know what the word was. And then I was like, oh my gosh. Well, no wonder. So that's one spooky experience. And then, okay, unrelated. Well, it's related, but a few years later, my dad comes home because they travel back and forth, with my mom, and she goes, "Oh, your auntie, which is his younger sister, he has many siblings, said there's something under the stairs." Like she said that there's but it's like a spirit of the land, or is it guarding us? Is protecting us? And I'm like, what? Under the stairs? And I'm like, I'm wondering if it's related to that woman with the long hair covering her face that my classmate saw that was standing beside me. I don't know if it was guarding me or protecting me or something, watching over me. Oh, that was so creepy still. But she said, yeah, your auntie said there's someone living under the stairs. It's like a spirit, and it's like kind of like protecting the house. I said, oh, well, as long as it's doing that, I mean, what harm can it do? And you know what? Now that I think about it, I was sensitive to spirits as a child. It was probably something protective because you know what happened when I was a kid? Whenever I would get in trouble, I broke my mom's Revlon lipstick. I remember because I was clowning around and then I was like smearing it all over my face, and then it broke in half. And I was so scared to get whooped with like a belt or anything or a slipper. That's how the Filipinos discipline their kids back then. I was so scared when I was young, like 3, 4. At 5, I would go under the stairs, almost like, that's like my protective area. I think I was found crying there because I didn't want to get whooped for breaking accidentally my mom's lipstick. Under the stairs! So, it couldn't have been bad if I ran there for protection. So that's that's like my deduction, okay? This is my left brain trying to reconcile with my right brain that sees things, the spirits. Mind you, I get straight A's in all my classes, okay? I'm not dumb, okay? I'm not born yesterday. I get straight A's. I'm always top 3. So my brain is working, all right? Okay, I'm not of low faculty of mental capacity, okay? I am eloquent in more than one language, okay? So I was like, there's all these weird correlations. So I was like, huh, interesting. Wait, let me line my eye real quick. Okay, hold on, I'll be right back. Circle back to the past. And this one could be about cursed land. Because remember I told you guys, in my culture, in my ancient culture, okay, because it's kind of like the native indigenous spirituality, or believe that the spirits of the land and nature, they have their own spirits, okay? It's very similar to like the natives of North America. In Philippines, we have similar kind of, our old spirituality has a similar belief, okay? So my mom told me that before I was born, there was this rubber plantation that they had, and they had to sell it because every time somebody they left someone to take care of this rubber plantation or banana plantation. It was some kind of plantation back home. Someone would die. Like the caretaker of that land would pass away. Like they were perfectly healthy and then they would have this tragic accident. So they kept switching like the caretakers. One fell off a tree like when they were trying to get coconuts, but they were like an experienced coconut, I don't know what you call them, gatherer. They were experienced. And then another one died of an illness. Like it just one after the other, after another, after another. Like I don't know if the land was cursed or they needed to do some, but apparently someone said that there used to be offerings to the land, and maybe the land spirits or the guardians or the nature, they were not happy that these people were not honoring these offerings towards the, I guess, the nature deities of that land. I don't know. But yes, so they had to sell it eventually because every caretaker, and it was like almost half a dozen, every caretaker who was perfectly healthy, years of experience taking care of land and these trees, would die. Like, they would die. Like, one after the other, after the other, after the other. If it was like 2, 3 times, okay, but this was almost 6 times in a row. So, cursed land, maybe. Maybe. So that was a really interesting one too. And a lot of them were perfectly healthy. They didn't have any terminal illnesses or anything like that. It was very strange. But, I'm telling you that that nature is very powerful, I feel. And you know what? I don't blame the Fae or the fairies for probably hating us as humans because we destroy everything we usually touch. We're pretty destructive as people. I see that in art graders also. Like, people's human natures come out and it's not always very pleasant. So I'm gonna just measure my eye here. And I'm actually getting more into Rust now, offline, off stream. I just play peacefully because I have a lot of stuff to do. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh, the cursed land. Yes. And now we're gonna circle back to spirit stuff that I've seen. It was okay. I don't know if I have enough time, but I'll try. So the most recent one was when I had a graphic design interview and and I think they said they were gonna hire me, and I was really excited. And then it turns out that it was just a lie, and I was devastated because I wanted a full-time job at the time, and this was before my mom got sick, and I was devastated because I was planning my whole days around it, and it was just sad for me. Okay, like being offered a full-time job and then it gets taken back for some reason is not nice. And anyway, this world is not fair. So I think, bawling my eyes out at the time, and I was beside myself. I don't know if my parents were back home. I think I was by myself at the house. It usually happens. Spirit stuff happen when I'm by myself usually. I was so devastated. I cried my eyes out, and then I think I was so tired from crying that I decided to take a nap, like near my bed. But here's the thing: my mirror that's facing my bed was open, so this is why I cover it all the time. I strongly believe that it's some kind of portal. Okay, I've seen some strange, bizarre things. I've seen in the state between falling asleep and still being awake, but you're falling asleep, it's like your brain waves shift a different frequency and you can pick up on things. Well, I am able to. I have seen things that look like freaking ET, okay, extraterrestrial, and there, and then it disappears all of a sudden, or it becomes really small. I cannot describe it. I don't know if any of y'all will believe me. And yes, I am of sound mind, and I am of sound, everything. I mean, I wouldn't be able to get straight A's if I wasn't of sound mind, okay? If I wasn't awake up there. I've just always been sensitive to the unseen. And in one of those times when I was super depressed and then I was falling asleep from crying because I just lost a full-time graphic design job, and this was before my mom got really sick. I was beside myself, okay? And then I was about to fall asleep, okay? And this is like the time where I'm awake but not quite awake, like I'm falling asleep. Okay, the trick for this one is wait till it dries and then you can just brush it off. Trust me. Okay, and so I'm about to fall asleep, and at the corner of my eye, I didn't have my glasses on, I see a form. And let me tell you that I'm by myself in my house, okay? And I'm like, oh my God. But it wasn't scary to me. To me, it was almost like a comforting presence. So if my spirit guides was a Victorian lady wearing an outfit like that and like the hair like this, but in more intricate fashion, I think it was like, if you are a Victorian lady, one of my spirit guides, I saw you. She was passing by me almost like to see if I was okay because I was distraught, emotionally distraught, okay? And then I fell asleep from crying and I just passed out then, but I felt very at peace. So I did not feel intimidated or anything or scared. But I saw it and it was like they look semi-solid. It's like I see the form, like they're wearing a Victorian dress with not their bums sticking out, but you know, like the Victorian dresses where it's really long and then it trails behind them and the puffy sleeves. That's what I saw in my periphery. And I knew that it was not an alive person, but it brought me comfort. So that's the thing. You also have to rely on how you're feeling around these and like any kind of entities or beings. Some will wish you well and some not. Okay. This one did. And oh, hold on. Cursed land and ghosts. You know, just run of the mill in real life spooky stuff that happens to me. So welcome to my world. If you guys have any spooky real life stories, feel free to please message me on here and I will read them. I would love to read them. Please and thank you. And I'm going to blur this with a dark shadow right here. And yeah, this is like my minimal look. I'm just gonna hold on a second. I had to blend out that eyelash glue there. But yes, this is kind of like as minimal, but still sparkly. This is what I mean by I don't have any eyeliner on the top of my eye. So this is what I say. But it's still technically not minimal. It's bronzy and sparkly. But yes, what was I saying? Yeah, so you guys have any in real life stories of spooky things? Please DM me and I'll say the story while I get ready with me another time. That would be really nice. And people keep saying that my voice is calming to them. Thank you. I'm about to drink coffee now. So thank you for that spooky story time. I hope you guys have a lovely day. I listen to spooky TikTok, so I thought that I would do the same thing here for you guys. I found it really relaxing, by the way. Please watch this in the daytime if you're scared. Don't be scared. I'm not a threat. Okay. Oh, what a creepy ending that I had to say. Okay. Okay, I gotta go eat. I'm starving. I've been fasting this whole morning, so I'm gonna go eat. Hi guys, this is today's look. Just lashes, bronzy, sparkly. I'm a fairy. I'm a bronze fairy. Okay. The end. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, yes. This is the nails this week. One popped off, but yes. Bye.